Hey guys, Mark Ferrasci, ProTech Dog Training. Heading out this morning to go work dogs as always on the weekend. We got a pretty good trial weekend going off. There's a ring sport trial with PhD Canines, got a trial going on, and we've also got the NADF trial that I went to yesterday and I'll be going to again today. First off though, I'm going to go work my dogs with Lewis Williams. Pretty good decoy. I'm working Joker and work the puppy. Then I'll head to the trial afterwards. I'm probably cutting my nose off to spite my face. I should go to the trial first, but Lewis is only available on the Sunday, and we always try to get out there before it gets hot, right? So we're heading to his place first, and I'll do an end around and loop back to the trial afterwards. But it's all good. It's what we do. Keep our feet in the water and keep playing the game. That's what it's all about. I had a great time yesterday. I'll be out there again today, so. The thing I love about trials is I get to see people I haven't seen in a long time. It's the nature of the beast in dog sports is that you'll always be around people and you're getting active and you're doing your thing, and all of a sudden you'll fall out and do something else, or people move, and that's part of the dog sport world, the dog world in general, where all of a sudden you'll see somebody and you haven't seen it for 10, 15 years. You know, they'll be at a trial or they'll be at an event. And it's like, wow, you know, it's like old homes week, you know, for me anyway. I've been doing it for so many years that there's a lot of people that I know out there. And then I see a lot of the young bucks, you know, the kids that are just coming up. And Mike Dezak, one of the better trainers, was out there with a nice dog yesterday too. He did pretty good. So some nice dogs out there. So it'll be fun. I'll go out there again today. And I like to be a people watcher, so I'll sit back because I'm always usually on the bench and I'm watching people work their dogs and how they get nervous and they handle the trial and the interaction, and then all of it that goes down. You know, the event is full of life. You know, and so one of the biggest things that I'm into right now, and I'm usually into it in general, is my perspective on building a dog that has strength. Right, and we all know that it starts with genetics. You got to have genetics first. But I'm not into sport. I'm into building a companion dog and building a dog that has real stature and that has a little bit more presence, right? So we've got somebody that kind of follows that same thing that I do, and his name is Syke. He has South Bay working dogs in the South Bay here in the LA. And he's got a black Malinois he's been breeding. He's got a real stout dog by the name of Mongol. And Mongol is always kind of the star of the show. Everybody looks forward to watching him get out there on the field and do his thing. So this weekend, yesterday anyway, he was trialing Mongo and Face, who's a puppy out of Mongo, I do believe. Face is probably about 2 years old, and Mongo's going on 4.5, 5 years old, getting a little older. But seeing Syke is kind of cool. I haven't seen him for 6-8 months, a year, whatever it's been since I ran into him last. He's in the South Bay area, and I'm up here on the other side of LA. So we end up having a lot in common in our perspective on how to build a dog. And Syke is somebody I respect in being able to really understand how to build a dog with some inner core strength, right? And that means being able to how you raise the dog, what you do with him. It's not heel, sit down, stay, come, and a finish. So many people nowadays watch all this fancy stuff on Instagram, and they're watching the dog heel, and he's doing all this fancy flip finishes and all this. And I get into that too, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, I'm very conscientious and aware of the dog's inner strength and how to bring up a puppy, what to do to mold, shape, and form that dog after you've got the genetic package that you got, and knowing that it's all about the dog that's in front of you. Because I don't care how well you research the bloodlines, how good the papers look on paper. Dog breeding and dogs in general are a crapshoot, right? You get 10 dogs in a litter and you roll those dice, and you're going to have 10 different puppies, and there's going to be, if you've done the right thing and you've done all your R&D and you've got good bloodlines and good genetics, you're going to have 2 or 3, maybe 4 of them that'll be really good out of 10, okay? And that's about picking the right puppy, right? Knowing what you're doing. And then from there, they're going to all fall along the wayside. It's not that they're bad dogs, don't get me wrong, but it's what I am looking for, that I want the best dog. right? I want the dog who's going to have that inner core strength and really be able to go out there and do his job on the street or in the sport or wherever, and have that inner core strength. Like Mongo. Mongo impresses people because Mongo's got that inner core. He'll mess you up, right? And that's what really floats my boat anyway. That's what I'm after personally, right? So that when you do that, you roll those dice, and like I said, you're going to have 2, 3 dogs, maybe 4 that come out to be that level, right? Like that last dog, that puppy that I had that I was working with, Dante the Badass. I got to pick the second of the litter, and I think I did pretty good. You know, that dog was pretty badass. Another gentleman picked a female. You know, so he ended up probably with one of the best females in the litter. He did a real good job. So, bottom line, it's all about having that instinct to be able to pick a puppy, knowing what you're doing, and to pick the right dog, and then being able to mold, shape, and form it, and understanding that every dog is an individual. You work the dog that's in front of you, right? I've got this young puppy now. The dog's got some good lineage. Don't get me wrong. He's had a big Roy and Tommy. Dog's a good little dog. But the Tommy dogs are a little bit more handler sensitive and a little bit slow to mature, and you've got to know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you're not going to develop that dog and do the right things at the right time in that dog's development. This gentleman, being a professional trainer, he was pretty savvy in bringing me this dog. 7 months old, the dog's a little bit clingy, right? A little bit clingy, a little bit wanting to stay with me all the time, and doesn't have that core inner strength. Does it mean that he's not going to? No, he's going to do fine with the right development, right? So now you take that dog and you develop him and do the right things, is what I'm doing. I'm concentrating on getting the dog to go away from me a little bit more, how I praise the dog, what I do with the dog that brings out that inner strength in the animal. It's how you treat the dog. It really is. And this doesn't, I can't tell you any one thing to do. It's instinct, right? It's understanding and feeling that dog and that dog's energy levels and what it's giving me to understand what to do. Things like tricks, there's 1,001 of them. But one of the tricks that I always do is to take a dog like this as a puppy and pair him up with a mentor dog, right? A dog that's stronger than him, that carries their body language a certain way. And the puppy can pick up on this and emulate this, okay? And I think Psych probably does the same dang thing. You know, so this is, it's an art. It's an instinctive ability. And those that are what we call dogmen, real true dogmen, have this, right? That's what I look for. That's why I have respect for Psych, because I know he knows what he's doing, and he has that inner ability within himself to bring these things out in the dog, right? And this isn't something that is done just saying, I can't tell you any one thing to do, okay? It's instinct. It's in my gut. It's in the feeling of the animal. And you either have that or you don't. And that's why you hear me talking a lot of times when we talk about being a dogman, right? A true dogman is somebody that's been around dogs long enough, that breeds, that has dogs, that actually understands and feels what to do with that dog at the right time and develop the dog properly, okay? Now, that's in my case. I do bite dogs. I do companion dogs. I don't do nose work right now. I could, but I could learn it and grow and do all kinds of things. But I'm into one facet right now. If I went towards nose work, I would want to acquire the same kind of a gut feeling and instinct to how to develop and turn those drives on, toggle them into the on position with the nose. Dogs all have noses. They all have a genetic drive to hunt, but that's what you hear them talking about. The cops are out there evaluating those dogs. They're looking for hunt drive from a young dog, and it's genetic, right? And that's picking that puppy for that individual job, right? It's 1,001 things that a dog can do for you. So those instincts are acquired with experience, and then you end up knowing how to do it, and that's what it's all about, right? If I went out to pick a good nose dog, I would probably be okay at it to a certain degree, but it's an art, you know? You get somebody like, I can't think of his name right now, that does all the nose work stuff that's really well known, and has that skill, and he's going to pick a puppy to die for, right? So, and that's instinct, that's experience is what does that for you, right? All right, I'll let you guys go. I'm busy with dog stuff today. We're going to go out and work some dogs with Lewis, then we're heading to the trial. So thank you very much. You guys have a good day. Mark Ferrasci, Protect Dog Training, signing off.